The Cloud Collector. Once upon a time, in a quiet village nestled between soft green hills and sparkling rivers, lived a boy named Nilo. Nilo wasn't loud or fast or full of jokes like other kids. He liked to think. He liked to wonder. But most of all, Nilo loved the sky. He would lie on the grass for hours, staring up at the clouds. He didn't just see shapes, he saw possibilities. A cloud shaped like a boot? Maybe that's a giant's lost shoe, he'd say. One like a pancake? Breakfast for a dragon. But Nilo didn't just watch clouds. He wanted to collect them. Everyone in the village thought that was just one of Nilo's strange little dreams. You can't collect clouds, they chuckled. They're made of mist. They come and go. But Nilo had a secret. He'd been working on something in his backyard, a giant net made of spider silk and dandelion fluff. It took him 3 whole summers to finish. He called it the Cloud Catcher. One morning, just before sunrise, Nilo packed the cloud catcher in his backpack, tied on his biggest boots, and tiptoed past his still sleeping village. The sky was still dark but flickering with stars. Nilo was aiming for the sky hill, the highest peak in the region. It was a long climb. Birds were waking up. Wind tickled the grass. Nilo kept climbing, imagining what kind of clouds he might catch. Would they be giggly? Shy? Ticklish? When he reached the top, he threw the cloud catcher into the air. Nothing. He tried again. Still nothing. Nilo felt silly. Maybe the villagers were right. Maybe you couldn't collect clouds. Then, boom! A gentle rumble. The net jerked upward. Something had pulled it. The sky above shimmered. A curl of cloud was swirling and wriggling in the net, like cotton candy trying to escape. Nilo gasped. It worked! But the cloud didn't like being caught. It twisted and puffed and popped out of the net, zipping away like a ghostly balloon. Nilo chased it, down the hill, over streams, under arching trees, until it vanished. When he finally stopped running, he was in a place he'd never seen before. A field where the grass glowed faintly blue. Trees with leaves like tiny mirrors. And in the middle of the field stood a creature. It had the body of a bison, the feet of a rabbit, and a long neck like a giraffe. Its fur shimmered like sunlight through fog. It blinked at Nilo with eyes that sparkled like puddles after rain. You followed the cloud, it said. You talk? Nilo whispered. The creature chuckled like wind rustling through feathers. I'm called a Nibino. We guard the sky. You guard the sky? Yes. Clouds aren't just fluff. They hold dreams. Hopes. Forgotten songs. You must never try to trap them. But, the creature tilted its head. You have curiosity. That's rare. I wasn't trying to hurt the cloud, said Nilo quickly. I just wanted to understand it. To know where they go. Why they come. What they hide. The Nubino looked thoughtful. Then it nodded. Very well. I will show you. It bent down. Climb on. Nilo scrambled onto its back, and they took off. Not running, floating. Up, up, through the air, higher than the sky hill, past birds and balloons and buzzing insects. And then, they entered the cloud layer. It was nothing like Nilo imagined. There were floating cloud villages shaped like shells. Cloud libraries that stored the laughter of babies. Cloud schools where tiny, winged creatures learned to write lightning poems. There were thunder clouds that acted like grumpy librarians, and whisper clouds that carried secrets from one end of the sky to another. The Nubino guided Nilo gently through it all. They aren't just mist, the Nubino explained. They're memory and music. Every cloud is part of the world's story. That's why we must never lock them up. Nilo felt his eyes sting with awe. He thought the sky was something you looked at. He never knew it was alive. Can I stay? He asked. The Nubino smiled sadly. No. But you can return. If you promise to never chase the clouds again, but to welcome them when they visit. I promise, said Nilo. And just like that, the Nubino swooped downward, taking Nilo home. He landed gently in his backyard, just as the sun rose. The village was still asleep. The cloud catcher lay where he'd left it, now gently glowing with sky dust. Nilo picked it up and smiled. He didn't need to trap clouds anymore. He would tell their stories. From that day on, every week, Nilo would sit outside his home and speak to children gathered in a circle. He told them about the rain parade, about the thunder dancers, about the whisper cloud that once helped a lost bee find its hive. The children listened, wide-eyed. And some nights, if the sky was quiet and kind, a single puff of cloud would drift close, just to listen too. Good night, cloud watchers. See you next story.